Let us pray. Looking for these better days. Hey! Wow. Terence Crawford, he at it again. He says that Tank Davis should fight, of all places, versus Shakur Stevenson on his undercard. In this video, I'm going to give my thoughts. The Bud Buddies, you are not going to like this one. So click off the video now because this makes absolutely no sense. And I'm going to express why I believe that. Enjoy. From the top, Terence Bud Crawford, he has, I guess, a quote from The Ring. Wow. Wow. It shows a picture of Tank and Shakur and Terence Crawford. The quote he gave Ring is pretty shocking, at least to me. It says, Tank Davis versus Shakur Stevenson would be dope. If Tank was not so cocky to be on a Terence Crawford undercard, that would be dope. And it says Terence Crawford on the co-feature to his fight against Canelo Alvarez. My goodness. Like, this is, I don't know, man. Like, y'all have to tell me what this is to y'all. But this, to me, sounds crazy. It truly sounds crazy. Why on earth would Tank Davis fight on yo undercard? Yo side undercard. Which one of y'all? Red bean and rice on a car. Which one of y'all? Which one of y'all does this make sense to? Trey Voice. Why would he fight on your undercard? Again, delusions of grandeur. Terence Crawford, he a good little fighter. Great skill. But when he says stuff like this, particularly, for me, it just doesn't make any rational sense. You know, like I know, like you at home know, that is not going to happen. So this is exactly what I never want on my channel. I don't want to ever get to a point where I'm just speaking and I'm speaking like empty words, where I'm saying things and people can understand what I'm saying, but it really means nothing. I really don't want to ever get there. I believe that's a problem with our society, and I'm not going to get too deep off into it in terms of like a rant, but for me, it's a problem with the society because people speak up and speak out with the internet, and you know, you have celebrities where they end up getting themselves in trouble, losing brand deals, you know, like Kanye West, having all this backlash that they're facing, all these things because there's cameras, microphones, and social media, and it's too accessible. So in a rage, they'll type up a bunch of tweets that are received negatively, et cetera, et cetera. So social media could be almost a drug, and people end up getting themselves in trouble, hurting their credibility, their brands, losing sponsorships and brand deals. What is Crawford talking about? Like, I try to listen to what is being said to me, and then I interpret, I comprehend, I listen, because that's the most important thing, to listen. And then upon listening, then you interpret and comprehend what was said to you. I mean, it's just, you're just speaking empty words. Why would Tank be on your undercard? That's my opening question. 2, there has been a contemptuous relationship between the guy who is said to be putting on Canelo versus Terence Crawford, which is Turkey. So why would he fight on your undercard and he seemingly doesn't have a great relationship with Turkey, and he has expressed like frustrations with fighters going to Saudi and things like that. You know what I mean? So him and Turkey don't seem to be eye to eye. So that's one obstacle. Two, another obstacle is he doesn't like you. You just did an interview and you literally said, I just don't like this guy on tape. Like, a lot of times you'll have fighters, they'll downplay it, you know. Terence Crawford told you on camera outright, I just don't like that guy. And I ain't a hater. But then the stuff you do comes across like a hater. You're literally saying Tank versus your little brother Shakur would be dope if Tank wasn't so cocky to be on the Terence Crawford undercard. The other problem with Terence Crawford undercard, it ain't really your undercard. If you fight Canelo, it's really payday, you'll want payday. I know that it's a Canelo undercard. Canelo is very well, and I am positive about this, the A side in that equation. So to even call it your undercard specifically when you're the B side is laughable. You know what I mean? It's laughable. So it's really a Canelo card. You're trying to make it sound like it's your card. The other issue is Tank is bigger than you. Period. You can say whatever you want. Oh, but Crawford 2X undisputed. He doesn't do the numbers Tank does. Like, every fight, his biggest two fights will be Errol Spence and Canelo, both of which he was the B side. These are the facts. Crawford was the B side in both of those situations, and those will be his biggest fights. You look at Tank's biggest fights, even if he fought Shakur, he would be the A side. You look at his other big fight with Ryan Garcia and Frank Martin, he's always the A side. So what does Tank look like fighting on your undercard? Let's be real, people. Come on. Come on, son. Right? Let me see what the people are saying. Too big of a fight for any undercard? Absolutely. Too much money? Definitely has to be a main event. Another great point that I didn't get to. LOL, Tank would be the headliner. Facts. Crawford is trying to use Canelo's name to get some pull on Tank. Well, we all know Tank's name holds more weight, G. I'm glad that the fans of this are ethering it. Tank outsells Bud fighting Scooby-Doo. Bud is too much on his high horse. Canelo needs to humble, bro. I'm a Bud fan, but we really know Canelo. It's a Canelo fight. Okay, so I never looked. This is a freestyle video. I never rehearsed or looked at the comments. I am glad to see the fans are shooting this down. So I know I'm on the right track. Now, the funny thing about this is when I posted a video, you're going to have the Bud buddies who all of a sudden they pop up like, ego, you're a hater, blah, blah, blah. But I'm going to keep giving my real opinion. Nobody's going to do anything about it. And it's good to see a lot of people clearly share the same sentiments and opinions as me because I'm looking at it in the conversation. Look, someone said it's a Canelo undercard. Literally what I just said, and I haven't looked at any of these. How could a star bigger than you be on your undercard and make it make sense? Okay, so I knew I wasn't tripping. Correction is Canelo's undercard. That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, this looks like clout chase, and the Bud Buddies have no explanation for it. It looks like pure clout chase. You're using Tank's name. You know it's not going to happen. He doesn't like you. You don't like him. He doesn't seem to have a good relationship with Turkey. Shakur's hands are broke from fighting an electrician. Why would you put a fight this big with Tank on and Shakur and then put it on undercard when it would be his own main event? Like, for so many reasons, it's just it's a meaningless conversation that Terence Crawford even said that, and then had the nerve to call Tank cocky and say if he wasn't too cocky to be on the Terence Crawford undercard. Bro, Shakur and them fighters with Riyadh season, they got to, Devin and all them, they got to fight on people's undercard. Tank is an A-lister, and he's one of the faces of boxing, him and Canelo. Why would he have to fight on Canelo's undercard? Even Canelo, he's a big star, but he's out the way because he's fighting in Saudi Arabia. It's going to be hard for his fans to show up to the weigh-ins like they did when he was fighting in America. So, again, this whole thing sounds foolish.